Hello, everyone. Welcome to our workshop on Entrepreneurial Co-op as we celebrate Global Entrepreneurship Week. We're just going to give it about 2 more minutes for a couple of remaining people to potentially join us, and then we will leap right in. Okay, Jenny, we good? Recording good?
Yes, we're recording.
Wonderful. All right, and Jenny, while I got you there, just a screen check. Can you see my screen okay? And all of my boxes aren't blocking everything you guys see?
It's a beautiful, clear screen.
Wonderful. In that case, we'll get started. Once again, hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here. LEAP Junction is super excited to be celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week this week. Global Entrepreneurship Week is a week every year in this November where we celebrate all things entrepreneurship. That includes small businesses, solopreneurs, large businesses that may have started small, and anyone who has ever dreamed about starting a business. And one of the avenues we have here at Fanshawe College for people that are interested in starting a business is our Entrepreneurial Co-op program. Today, I'm going to give you an overview of the program, how you can go about applying, who it's for, and then a little bit about how it works if you are accepted into the program. A quick note before we get started, we are currently accepting applications for this program. So if you are a Fanshawe student and you're interested in applying, definitely make sure you take a look at this workshop. We will be recording it so you can look at it again. But I'll link to the posting as well in this workshop. So make sure you go onto the co-op job board to check it out. Without further ado, though, we will get started. So today we're going to talk just a little bit about LEAP Junction. For those of you that are here that may not know what we do, we'll just give you a bit of an overview. And then I'll dive right into the Entrepreneurial Co-op, the process, how it works, and then some of the requirements. So co-op at Fanshawe has some regulations like hours, check-ins, and learning outcomes, and those are definitely still applicable to our Entrepreneurial Co-op. However, we combine some of those great things in the co-op program along with some of our coaching and some of our tracking that we have at LEAP Junction to make a really fulsome program for you as an entrepreneur. We also have some learning that is involved in the Entrepreneurial Co-op program, and we'll talk about that. And then I'd love to leave some time at the end for your questions if you have any. So, LEAP Junction, if you are new and this is your first time meeting with us, or maybe you saw us on a website or maybe on your co-op page, LEAP Junction is Fanshawe College's Entrepreneurship Center. And what we do is we help students and alumni who are interested in starting or growing their own business. Now, the program I'm talking about today is going to be student only because it is a co-op program. However, we work with anyone that has or has had a Fanshawe student number. So if you're a graduate and you're interested in talking to us about another program, please make sure you check out our events page for some of the other things we have going on. Most of our services can be found online at leapjunction.ca, but we're happy to talk with anybody who has an innovative idea or is looking to try maybe something that's an old problem a new way. And I am your host today. Welcome. My name is Kelsey Currie. I am the Entrepreneurial Curator at LEAP Junction, which is a fancy title for the supervisor of the center. Our center is located in M3001. It is currently closed, but we are slated for a January reopening. And I've been at the college for about 8 years, and I work with an awesome team, some of whom are here today. to run LEAP Junction as we work with students and entrepreneurs that are looking to grow. My background is mostly in the fields of education and in science. So if you are a client that is looking to grow a business and have any questions about community outreach, organization and planning, conflict resolution, or goal setting, you'll probably be sent to me to chat a little bit about that. I'm also the lead for the Entrepreneurial Co-op program, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that program specifically today. So, as we dive into a little bit more about LEAP, we have three main things that we do at LEAP. The first one is educate, and we do that through a couple of avenues. We have a workshop series that you can find on our website. It's open to anybody. The first 3 workshops are open, and then you definitely need to meet with one of our coaches to get a password to go forward from that. But this is a great way for you to take charge of your own learning. We also encourage you to be doing some one-on-one mentorship with our staff. And so our staff work with you to help build your goals. And we do this in an ad hoc way so that you can work towards your goals rather than goals that we set for you. We also work to foster and facilitate a culture of entrepreneurship at Fanshawe College. And what that means is we want to make sure that every student understands that entrepreneurship is a career option for them. So whether you plan to always work at a large company or you want to go off on your own, we think that entrepreneurship can be a great part of your career, whether you're proposing a new thing, whether you're maybe doing a side hustle, or you're taking the full leap and you're starting something on your own. We want to make sure that you have the skills and ability to do that if you are interested. We provide physical space, again, reopening in January, and entrepreneurial events to help students that are interested in entrepreneurship meet each other. Finally, we do not live in a vacuum here at Fanshawe College. We want to make sure that the entrepreneurs who choose to work with us have the opportunity to meet others throughout the city and in their community that can help them. And so your time at Fanshawe may be short, but your time in London hopefully will be longer. And we want to make sure that you have connections to those community supports that can help you after you have left the college. And so the third thing we do at LEAP Junction is connect you to our ecosystem that helps support you through your journey. So let's look at the actual application process for Entrepreneurial Co-op. So if you're here, I'm going to assume that you're somewhat familiar with co-op at Fanshawe, but a really brief overview, and I see Tracy is here, so she's going to laugh at me. A real brief overview of co-op. Co-op is an integrated process. There are approximately 70 programs at Fanshawe College that have co-op. And so if you are in one of those programs, you are eligible for Entrepreneurial Co-op. Co-ops must be integrated into your program, which means you will go to school and then work and then school and then work. There's a back and forth process. Currently, we have applications open for Entrepreneurial Co-op. So right now we are looking for applications for the winter term. So if you are interested in doing a co-op this winter, so that would be starting in January 2022, and you're an entrepreneur, you can apply for our winter 22 cohort of entrepreneurs in Entrepreneurial Co-op. We do run this program every term. So if you're looking for something in the future, maybe summer or even next fall, we will run this program then. With our applications being open now, they do close on November 22nd. And now this is the first round. So if we don't fill up, we do typically reopen. However, if we do fill up, November 22nd is the deadline. So we do encourage all students to apply in advance to ensure that they are able to get that application in if this is really what you want. If you're interested in our summer cohort, applications will open in February. Just like any other job on the co-op job board, in order to apply, you must be eligible for co-op. And this is based on your academic standing of your program and is program specific. If you have questions about your application status, your status for eligibility for co-op, please consult with your co-op consultant. They are the ones that will be able to help you with this. These applications will come in through the co-op job board. So this is the same place that you would have done your co-op 1020 prep work. This is where you would have applied to that mock posting, and that same place where you would see many other job postings for your industry, that's where you'll see this job posting as well. Again, it is open to all co-op programs every term. So we're going to take a really quick look at the posting, and I'm going to walk you through it so that you are the most successful applicants that you can be. So for the first, we'll look at the job description here. So an entrepreneurial co-op opportunity, in essence, is a term of your program that you will spend not in school, but working on your own business. We expect that you're going to spend the majority of your time that you are working in co-op, working on your own business. And our team at LEAP Junction is here to support you with that. We also hope to connect you with other people in the program that are like-minded or maybe even in a similar industry or have similar goals so that you can collaborate with them as you work. This will allow you to get your credit for co-op and also ideally help you grow your business. Now, it is important to note that this is a self-funded opportunity. And what that means for us at LEAP Junction is that there are no payments to you because you're working for your own business. And we are hoping that as you work through Entrepreneurial Co-op, you'll either make money through your business or you'll be working towards a reasonable expectation of making money. What that means is that you may be doing something like working on a website, for example. And as you work on your website, you might not be bringing in money yet, but that's a reasonable expectation of making money very soon once that website is active. In addition to working on your business, there's a few things that we want to make sure that you have access to through Entrepreneurial Co-op. And one of those is access to your personal business coach. Now, you can see that Jenny is here with us today. Jenny is the business coach assigned to Entrepreneurial Co-ops this term. And so any students that are in the fall semester that are working on Entrepreneurial Co-ops have at least monthly meetings with Jenny to make sure that they are on track and have any questions. Those meetings can be more often though if they'd like. We also have a series of professional development workshops that is mandatory for our Entrepreneurial Co-op students. These allow our students to learn a little bit as they're working on their business. Because when you're an entrepreneur, and hopefully everybody here on the call knows this, it's very hard to sometimes take a step back from your business and learn rather than just trying to work through the problem. And so we try to help you do that in Entrepreneurial Co-op. We also have access to mentorship networks. Some of our students will come into co-op with a mentor. Some of our students will choose to use LEAP Junction staff as a mentor. But if you'd like to find a mentor that's in the community, we have access to a network that can help you do that. Finally, we have some perks for being part of the Entrepreneurial Co-op program. In March 2022, there's a legacy conference coming up. And we're expecting it to stay virtual this year, but that's a conference that's for students, by students, put on by the University of Ottawa. And every student that's enrolled in Entrepreneurial Co-op will have the opportunity to attend that conference free of charge. The final benefit that we have is our LEAP In program, which you can learn a little bit more of on our website, which does come with some funding. Any students who are participating in Entrepreneurial Co-op and are interested in that program are guaranteed an interview. So you do still need to apply, but you are guaranteed an interview if you have gone through this program. However, we need some things from you as well. So some of the requirements for this job you can see on the screen here. The big one that we obviously need is a resume. So please submit a resume like you would for any other job posting. But unlike other job postings, we're not interested in a cover letter or your transcripts. What we want to know is a letter of intent of what your business is going to be. And this is really important, and I'm going to give you a hint that any application that comes in without a letter of intent is not considered. Your letter of intent can be up to 4 pages, but really we're just looking for about a paragraph of each of these points. A description of your business, any indication you have that this is a good idea. So this would include any market research you've done, maybe some people you've spoken to. If you have testimonials, then you could do it that way. An overview of who your target customer is. So who is it that's actually going to buy what you're selling? A list of resources that you already have put in place. That can be things like maybe your laptop, space that you have, storage if you're selling a product. Maybe you have access to human resources. We want to know that in advance. We want to see an overview of your finances and your marketing plan as well. So how much are you expecting to put into your business? What are you expecting to get out of it? And how are you planning to promote to your customers as you go forward? What is your growth plan? So what's your goals? This doesn't need to be as in-depth as, where do you see yourself in 5 years, but we want to see what it is that you're thinking you're going to do with this business. And then finally, because this is a work integrated learning opportunity, we want to know about your learning plan. What do you plan to learn on this co-op that's going to enhance your overall learning while at Fanshawe College? So a reminder that letter of intent, 2 to 4 pages, no application is considered if they do not have a letter of intent. And that's really important for everyone to remember. This letter of intent is going to come in through the application system, so through the co-op job board. And then we will assess both your resume and the letter of intent to determine the validity of your business, to make sure that it makes sense, that you have a commitment to entrepreneurship, because this is a very self-directed program. We want to make sure you're committed, and that you've shown the appropriate skills to be able to say and do what it is that you are actually putting in this letter of intent. We have a limited number of students. We are accepting 5 students right now for the for the winter term. And if you are accepted into an interview, we will be asking for a reference at that time as well. So 3 things you need for your application: a resume, a letter of intent, and you should have a reference queued up and ready to go. I'll pause there because that's kind of the job requirements pieces. Is there any questions at this time? Okay, moving on. So if you are following the instructions, then you will get an interview. This is not the most competitive job process that you will ever go through. So what we want to see is that you have, again, submitted that resume, have a reference queued up, and submitted that letter of intent. And if you've done those things and you have, proved the validity of your business, we are going to invite you to a 30-minute interview. And that will be an interview with a panel of staff from both the LEAP and the co-op departments. And we typically ask you about 6 questions. 4 of them are centered around your business, and 2 of them are centered around your learning and how it connects to your program of study. A really key thing to note here is that the business that you work on must be related to the program that you are in some way or another. So for example, if you are in the cybersecurity program, we want to make sure that you're working on a business that has some type of cybersecurity related element to it. You likely are not going to be approved for an entrepreneurial co-op in a cybersecurity program, making scrunchies, for example. That would be a great program for somebody in fashion to be doing. After the interview process, if you are successful, again, we will be asking for those references at that time. But successful candidates will be offered a position with a work term agreement, and it is your responsibility, as with all co-ops, to return that work term agreement to your co-op consultant. So this part of the process is the exact same as a regular co-op. Interview, work term agreement, signed off by your co-op consultant. So at this point, you've gotten into the program. So this is what it actually looks like while you're in the program. Some of this is very similar, and you'll recognize it from your co-op 1020 classes, and some is a little bit different. So just like with all co-ops, you are required to submit 3 learning outcomes to your co-op consultant at the start of your work term. You're also still required to complete your 420 hours of self-employed work. So in this case, rather than working for a company, you have to track those 420 hours of working for yourself. This is important because you are responsible for tracking it, because you are your own boss in this case. Some things that we do that are a little bit different is we ensure that you have access to a community mentor or one of the coaches at LEAP Junction so that you have somebody to talk to. Again, this is self-employed work, so you don't have a boss to be going to. So we want to make sure that you have that person. Again, some people come into the program with a mentor already in place. Some people choose to use our staff as a mentor, and some people would like another mentor, and we can help connect you with those mentors. All Entrepreneurial Co-op students do go through a business model canvas session, and this allows students to suss out their business plans a little bit better and allows our coaches to learn some of the areas of development that we can help you with as we work through this process together. Again, like all co-ops, you're still required to have a midterm check-in with your co-op consultant. But in addition to those, you are supposed to have regular check-ins with a LEAP Junction staff. And that's what I was saying that Jenny is doing this term. Those check-ins can be anywhere from every week to every month. Most of our students, though, are checking in bi or tri-weekly as they go through the Entrepreneurial Co-op program. You are required to submit an activity log at the end. Again, like I said at the beginning, no one is tracking your hours and no one is monitoring your performance during the Entrepreneurial Co-op. This is a very self-directed program, and so you need to submit a log at the end that details your hours and the types of things you worked on. But then, just like every other co-op, you are required to submit a student work term evaluation at the end of the term. And your mentor, either our staff at LEAP Junction or your community mentor, will submit a work term evaluation at the end. Now you'll note there's a few little asterisks there, and those are the types of things that we are currently being flexible with due to COVID-19. As we start transitioning out of the pandemic, some of that flexibility will go away, but if you're working for yourself, the 420 hours and the regular check-ins should be no problem. Typically, when I do these sessions about Entrepreneurial Co-op, get some questions about mentorship. So as I mentioned, you can come in with your own mentor. You can have our staff be one of your mentors, or you can be connected to a mentor in the community. And that network of mentorship in the community that we have is accessed through the Larry Mini Mentorship Program. We work closely with the team at Inspire to be able to find you somebody who could be a mentor for you if that is your interest. If you have any questions about mentoring in general and you just want to know a little bit more, you can always visit fanshawe.ca/inspire to learn about mentorship on a greater scale rather than just what we do here at LEAP Junction. So we're switching gears here a little bit. So some of the learning that happens as part of the Entrepreneurial Co-op. So we know what we're doing. We're working on our own business. We know how to apply. We know how to get into the program. One of the things that your coach is going to be working with you on is these workshops. And so if you go to our website right now, you'll see these workshops. They are open to anybody. And as I mentioned, the first 3 of them do have access to anyone who's interested in taking a workshop. But this is some of the learning in those 10 hours of professional development that you're going to go through with your coach. So your coach is going to walk you through, those first 3 workshops, and you'll go over that business model canvas together. After you've done your business model canvas, we'll highlight certain areas in here that you should definitely be focusing on. These workshops very rarely are done in order. So it might work for you best to, start with workshops 1, 2, and 3, and then jump to workshop 7. That's totally fine. That's what entrepreneurship's all about. It's about making sure that you have access to the resources you need when you need them. Again, if you have questions about these workshops, you're gonna talk to your coach that you're working with as you go through this program. So we're coming to the end of some of the slides that I have for everyone today. If you have questions about Entrepreneurial Co-op and you wanna learn a little bit more, I definitely encourage you to book a meeting with one of our advisors. You can book a 30 to 60-minute intake meeting where we can talk a little bit about your business idea, assess your needs, figure out how we can help you, and direct you to applying to Entrepreneurial Co-op if that's the direction you want to go. Once you're in the program, you'll also use this same system to book those ongoing meetings as they fit in your schedule. And sometimes we don't know the answers to everything, so we might outsource some of those advisor meetings to some of our partner organizations. For example, if you had a question specifically around food, we might send you to one of our food-based entrepreneur organizations that can help you with a program that they are running. These advisor meetings are great, and anyone that has questions should definitely book one. And I will show you how here. You're going to book online at leapjunction.ca. So if you go to leapjunction.ca, either on your phone or on your laptop or tablet, the big button that you'll see right when you open up our homepage is book appointment. You click that and you'll fill out a short intake form that'll just tell us a little bit about you and your business so that we can make sure to direct the right resources to you when we meet you for that intake meeting. And then you'll choose a time that works for you. Our coaches will get that emailed to them and they'll confirm it just to make sure that it works for them as well. And then you will have a virtual meeting. Currently, we are offering in-person meetings Wednesdays from 9 to 5 in D1063. If you are interested in having an in-person meeting, just make sure to select that option. And with that, that's all the slides that I have for you today. For more information about LEAP Junction, our programs, and any other programs that we are running, including Entrepreneurial Co-op, definitely check us out on social media and visit our website frequently, leapjunction.ca. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and newly LinkedIn, which is not on this slide, so I will have to make a short update there. With that, I will stop sharing my screen, and I will open the floor up to any questions that anyone may have. Well, you can, oh, question about international students. Is it hard for international students to start their own business? That is an excellent question. And the answer is, unfortunately, it depends. It's hard for everyone to start a business. This is not an easy task, and this is why not everyone does it. There are certain regulations for international students that are looking to start a business, but we would have to talk to you about your business, your industry, and your current status. Basically, if you're a student or if you're on a postgraduate work permit, those all impact the answer to that question. So Fook, I would definitely encourage you to book a meeting with one of our advisors so that we can dive into your situation and your industry a little bit more. The short answer though, international students can start a business and are eligible for this program. Perfect. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, Jenny, we can send out the slides afterwards along with the recording, correct? Perfect. Yes, so we will make sure to do that. And in addition, there will be a link for anyone that registered to that actual job posting. So if you're having a hard time finding it, the link is right there as well. Tracy, I don't think you'll need to have a hard time finding that link, but I'll make sure to send those slides out as well. Okay. Well, thank you everyone so much for coming. You can have 30 minutes of your day back, and it's always lovely to see you all. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll consider Entrepreneurial Co-op or any of our other programs going forward. Dave, did you want to do a quick plug for the workshop you're doing tomorrow for the people that are on the line here?
Sure, of course. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave. I'm one of the business advisors at LEAP. Just want to let you know, we have a really awesome program starting on November 24th. It's called the Fast Track New Venture Program. So this is for anybody who's got an idea or is aspiring to be an entrepreneur in the near future. It's a 10 online workshop series. They're 2-hour sessions. And the program's designed to kind of help you move that idea forward and get the business off the ground, and also get you ready for the Libro Business Plan Challenge competition at Fanshawe College coming in March. So the info session for that, there's one tomorrow at 12 p.m. as well as next Wednesday on the 17th at 12 p.m. as well if you miss tomorrow. But this is a good opportunity to come learn what the program's about and ask any questions that you might have. So if you're interested, definitely check out our website where you'll find the ability to register for the event and get the online Zoom link for you.
Thanks, Dave.
No problem.
All right, everyone. Have an amazing day. Thanks for joining us.